Hello everyone, my name is Stas, and today I will tell you about the plot of the 2024 film titled No Chains, No Masters, which depicts the very harsh life of slaves in the 18th century. The film begins by showing us a bound woman who is drowning in the sea. During a montage of beautiful shots, we hear this woman asking her husband named Massamba to take care of their daughter. Next, we are introduced to the context of the events. The year is 1759, and on the screen are sugarcane plantations growing on the island of Île-de-France. Then we are introduced to the slave Massamba, who has been nicknamed Cicero. Cicero is a translator who works on the plantation of Eugène Larcenet. He is criticized by other slaves for his privileges. At night, the man teaches his daughter mother to read and write, but the young girl is much more interested in the dream of escape and true freedom. The father warns her that the chances of success are very slim, and it is all very dangerous. When morning comes, Cicero watches the punishment of runaway slaves. For the first attempt, the master brands the runaway. For the second, he cuts off an ear and injures a tendon. Then Cicero reminds everyone else that the third attempt will result in execution. At night, the mother has a seizure, the father reads a prayer, and the seizure passes. He blames an evil spirit for this problem, which also tormented his wife. The daughter asks her father to rise up against the masters, but the man refuses. Soon, the governor arrives at the plantation. When dinner time comes, Cicero is invited to the master's house. Before this, dust is swept off him with a broom, as if he were some kind of carpet. The important guest is surprised that the slave knows French and can speak eloquently. The governor learns that Larcenet's son, named Honori, taught Cicero to read and write. Moreover, this young man holds the radical opinion that all black people are also human. The governor did not like these views. When he leaves, he reminds the elder Larcenet that the plantation belongs to him under a concession, and France can revoke this agreement at any moment if his heir does not rid himself of these incorrect thoughts. The governor leaves the house and Eugène beats his son. After this, he punishes the orator and revokes all his privileges. Now his daughter will live not with her father, but in the master's house. However, when the mother is being taken to her new place of residence, she manages to escape and hide in the nearby forest. In the morning, Eugène sends his son along with a search party. He believes that capturing the slave will prove his loyalty to the French ideals to the governor. Honori agrees in exchange for a promise not to punish the mother if she is brought back.
Renoncez à la punir par la disgrâce. Songez-vous aussi à ce qu'a pensé ma mère.
Meanwhile, Cicero is tied to the stakes and whipped on his back, but even then he doesn't reveal where his escaped daughter is headed. Soon, Madame la Victoire, a notorious bounty hunter for runaway slaves in the service of the French crown, arrives at the plantation. The woman works for the government, and among her assistants are her sons. Madame la Victoire questionne Cicero. The woman notes that all the hunters kill the runaways, but she brings them back alive. Cicero swears that he knows nothing. Then the huntress orders Mati's friend to be tortured. She quickly breaks down and names a place in the southwest. According to local legend, that's where slaves find freedom. Victoire is getting ready for the hunt, but she needs someone who can identify the escaped slave. Larcenet Sr. suggests taking Honori. Taking Mati's clothes, they let the dog sniff them. When the dog picks up the scent, the search team heads into the forest. Reading the tracks imprinted on the damp ground, Madame Victoire realizes that she encountered a man with whom she continued her journey. The pursuit leads the group to a high mountain. They climb up it and then set up camp for the night. During dinner, Victoire reprimands Honori for eating without saying a prayer. On the issue of black people's rights, this woman holds the same position as the church. They have no soul, they are all not more important animals. Meanwhile, Cicero is sitting in a cage in the barn with a massive muzzle on his face. He asks the passing slaves for help, but no one helps him. At night, the daughter's friend helps the men escape. Without thinking twice, Cicero takes off running. Even though the guard dog is sleeping and doesn't raise the alarm, his disappearance is soon noticed. Morning arrives. Cicero managed to shake off his pursuers. After that, he started thinking about how to take off the mask that was getting in his way. To eat and drink, he decides to break the lock with a stone, which carries certain risks. After getting rid of the mask, the slave makes a homemade compass out of a few sticks and stones. A homemade compass to determine where the southwest is using the shadow. At night, he dreams of his wife. She insists that Cicero must obey the will of the spirits with whom their ancestors made a pact. In the morning, he continues on his way. The man doesn't know that hunters have noticed his movements. In the forest thicket, the fugitive meets another man with a machete. He gestures for him to be quiet and leads him into the bushes, where a woman with a child is hiding. They see how Madame Victoire's team is wandering through the forest. In search of them, the slaves are forced to flee. Leaving the woman and child in hiding, the men lead the pursuers in a different direction. They run into a hunter who shoots at Cicero's companion. He himself attacks a white man and almost kills him when Anori appears.
Je te rends. Fais-moi confiance.
The master's son orders the slave to surrender, promising that he will take care of him, but receives a fatal wound from the second slave. Realizing that he has nothing left to lose, Cicero wants to kill Madame Victoire's son, but his humanism and conscience prevent him from doing so. He spares his life, taking only his supplies. In the forest, Cicero comes across another black man, dressed in a soldier's uniform. He takes him to a cave where he has set up a refuge, and he says that he was once a citizen of France and served in the army, but then white people burned him. Documents? He goes on to say that no one has managed to find free land in the southwest, so heading there is pointless. In the morning, he shares that a group of runaway slaves is planning to steal fishing boats and sail to Madagascar. Believing that his mother is with them, Cicero continues on his way. As Lady Victoire packs Anor's body, her son wonders. Since the runaway slaves spared him, as a good Christian should he, in turn, spare him? The mother convinces her son that it is the Lord who has spared him. The son doubts this belief. When he tries to leave, brother Joseph accuses him of cowardice and starts a fight, but he wins, takes Anor's body and leaves. Madame Victoire and her remaining son continue the hunt. Coming across a cave, they wound the black soldier. Realizing that he won't say anything, the hunters simply kill him. After searching the cave, they find the runaway slave's clothes and let the dog sniff them. The dog catches up to its target near the river, after which they both fall off the edge of the waterfall. Once on the shore, the dog attacks the runaway. Cicero crushes the animal's head with a rock. After that, the hunters see the slave disappearing into the forest. They go down to try to find the tracks before the rain gets heavier. In the morning, Cicero walks to the edge of the ocean. On the sandy beach, he finds a wrecked boat and the bodies of runaway slaves. He inspects the dead bodies, but his daughter is not among them. He is drawn to the noise coming from the nearby bushes. There he finds 3 black men who are repairing a boat. Cicero tells them that he is looking for his daughter. After that, one of them points him to a coastal cave. There the runaway slave women are hiding, and among them is his mother. He tells her that Madagascar is not an escape and suggests finding her cherished freedom in the very southwest. The two of them leave the beach. Soon a huntress appears with her son. They find traces of the shipwreck, including bodies, a trail of rum on the sand, and a landslide near the cave. Madame Victoire orders to continue the chase, convinced that the runaways are still on the island. Noticing them, the father and daughter hide in the bushes.
Go to Moutaïrou.
Bye.
Night falls and the hunters set up camp. Soon, they hear strange sounds. Grabbing their weapons, they nervously aim into the darkness. Joseph fires blindly, and at that moment, he is attacked with a knife. Runaway slave. The young man bleeds out in his mother's arms, who, out of mercy, has stabbed his heart with a knife. During a lightning strike, the woman sees a sneaking black man. Massamba Victor sneaks between the trees to get behind him and shoot. She barely starts her prayer when she gets stabbed by Cicero. At this time, a slave girl enters the house and Varsan's wife in order to stab the slave owner. In the morning, the mother revives her wounded father with a spear and leads him into the forest, where he collapses again, unconscious. The next morning, they are found by a tribe of free black people. Upon learning that they are runaway slaves, they drag Cicero and lead the mother to a place where they can become free. The village is well hidden by mountains and forests, making it extremely difficult to access. The local shamans treat Cicero's wounds using traditional medicine. Meanwhile, the mother is surveying the area. When the man came to, the locals allowed him to stay among them. The mother feels relief and hope for a free life, where she won't have to do hard labor and endure endless beatings. However, all good things eventually come to an end. One night, the guards raise the alarm. Troops of French soldiers pass through the nearest cave. The musketeers are causing a riot, forcing the black people to run as fast as they can, driving the runaways to the cliff. The soldiers surround them. The commander promises the prisoners that if they surrender, their lives will be spared. The mother, deciding not to return to her old life, starts singing, a song that is well known among the slaves. Everyone else starts to support her. No chains, no masters, With this motivation, all the slaves move toward the cliff and jump down. The soldiers are surprised by such a decision. Massamba and the mother are the last among the slaves to fall. And that's how the movie ends. Well, we have a good historical film that tells the horrors of slavery, as it really was. A tense plot, good acting, and a powerful finale make this film truly memorable. How would you rate this film? Be sure to write in the comments. This brings our video to an end. Thank you all very much for watching. If you found it interesting, be sure to support this video with a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our new releases. And this was Stars with you, who is already preparing a new brief summary for you. Stay healthy, watch only good movies, and play only good games. Good luck to everyone, and goodbye.